Die.
It's time for On Target Radio, Chicagoland's only radio show dedicated to the red meat issues that affect your life, from gun control to freedom of speech. Now, debating, debunking, and discussing today's hot issues. Here are your hosts, David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz.
Welcome to On Target Radio. Tonight, David's rant of the week is SCOTUS Pick of the Litter, with David and Gretchen taking a look at President Trump's top 3 potential Supreme Court nominees. Then we'll take another look at the county-by-county effort to declare sanctuary status for guns. You may be surprised. And finally, yet another major threat to your Second Amendment rights. All that and more on tonight's On Target Radio. So be sure to give us a call at 312-642-5600 or watch us live on YouTube, On Target Radio, or go to Facebook, like our page, On Target Radio, and ask a question there.
And now, from the seething cauldron of personal opinion, it's time for David's Rant of the Week.
Well, the Birkenstock Brigade is circling the wagons and digging in for a fight to the death over Trump's second SCOTUS appointment. They've seen the short list, and they are not pleased. The fact is, it's unlikely the Republicans will break ranks, and at the end of the day, the Democrats aren't in control of anything, much less themselves. The Democrats have this fantasy that the president should appoint an equivalent to Kennedy, a swing vote. Well, of course they do, and of course he won't. Trump has no sense of fair play when it comes to appeasing the Democrats. Why should he? They wouldn't give an inch when they were in power. I recall Obama meeting with Republicans in 2010 over Obamacare. He was given a list of a few modest proposals and gave Republicans a cold shoulder. Obama relished saying to Republicans, "Elections have consequences, and I won." Well, guess what? Elections still have consequences, and this time we won. But the best is yet to come. Trump may get a third opportunity for a SCOTUS nominee. Has anyone noticed that Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg has been photographed asleep in group pictures of the sitting justices? It can't be very long before Ginsburg's formaldehyde level drops off. Trump's short list has outstanding candidates, such as Chicago's own U.S. Court of Appeals Judge Amy Coney Barrett. The Coninator, a sobriquet that Barrett earned for her veracity in chewing up and spitting out opponents in court, has been on the U.S. Court of Appeals for less than a year. Unquestionably, she would generate the most vociferous debate because she has so few rulings. John F. Kennedy notwithstanding, liberals cite her strong Catholic beliefs as prima facie evidence of religious extremism that could unravel Roe v. Wade. Senator Feinstein told Barrett during her confirmation hearing to the Seventh Circuit Court of Appeals, quote, "The dogma lives loudly within you, and that's of concern when you come to big issues that large numbers of people have fought for years in this country," unquote. To be fair, it isn't exactly left-wing paranoia, as one of Trump's campaign promises was to overturn Roe v. Wade. However, in the best tradition of stare decisis, Barrett is on record saying it's unlikely Roe v. Wade would be overturned, and that the debate will be over public funding. All indications are that Barrett is a constitutionalist, and at 46, she has plenty of time left in her career. Look, all political appointments are high theater, so I'd hold Barrett back until Justice Ginsburg fails to wake up from one of her judicial naps. Replacing a female justice with a female nominee just makes political sense, which brings me to the point, replacing Justice Anthony Kennedy. There are 2 other potential nominees on Trump's shortlist, Federal Appeals Court Judges Brett Kavanaugh and Raymond Kethledge. Kavanaugh has the chops, but as a George W. Bush appointee, many conservatives who have a problem with W may be turned off by Kavanaugh. And then there is Kethledge. First and foremost, Judge Kethledge has clearly demonstrated from the bench he is a constitutionalist in general and a firm believer in the individual's right to bear arms under the Second Amendment. He has strictly applied SCOTUS ruling in District of Columbia v. Heller, and his vocal about Second Amendment rights deserved at least as much protection as any of the others. In addition, he's an avid hunter, has a concealed carry permit, and routinely carries a Glock 27. For those reasons and more, I hope Judge Raymond Kethledge will be tagged to fill Justice Kennedy's vacancy. I also hope President Trump tells the Coninator to keep up the good work, and every morning read the Washington Times obituary column before making a decision about where you're going to go to work. And that, Gretchen, is my rant for the week.
Very interesting.
Yeah, well, I really like her. She's really got a good background. I think it's smart. Well, we're going to talk about her in the next section, but I think it makes sense. He's almost certainly going to get Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I mean, she actually. Have you ever?
It seems like it.
Have you ever seen pictures of her? She's actually asleep.
Yes.
Group pictures of all the justices, and she's bagged out. At some point.
Well, and what she said before Trump got elected. I mean, she is just. She's not with it.
No, she's not. I mean, she's. First of all, this is a Supreme Court justice. They're supposed to be above politics. Now, I mean, I know the reality on both sides. I understand that,
sure.
but you're not supposed to talk about it.
Right.
And she talks.
Yes.
Which is probably the only thing she ever says because she sleeps most of the rest of the time. Give us a call, 312-642-5600, if you have thoughts about that. Well, I want to just cover a little bit about Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh is he's 53 years old. All of these are relatively young people. Kavanaugh's 53. I believe Kethledge is 53, and she is
46.
46.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever gets appointed, they got 25 years at least.
Oh,
at
probably
least.
much longer than that. Yeah.
So that I find very interesting. Kavanaugh certainly has the chops. He's Catholic. He's a regular elector at the Shrine of the Most Blessed Sacrament in Washington, D.C. Lives in Maryland. He volunteered. All of these people are like people. If that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't.
Well, they're not the high and mighty type. When we talk, for instance, about Kethledge in a minute, I told you what his office is, and we'll talk about that later. But they're like sort of common people who are in positions of high responsibility. But
we know some judges. I mean, judges are just people.
Right, but these are people being considered for the Supreme Court. I mean, this is high up. This is big money.
Right, but I mean, everybody just starts out as regular people.
I've known a few judges. Never mind. So, yeah, probably. The ones we know are good folks.
The chief judge of Will County, he's like, call me by my first name.
Exactly.
You know, I mean,
they all
seriously.
Judge Braun and
I text him now. I text with the chief judge of Will County.
Well, there you go. And Dave, I always said Dave's like a teddy bear.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Dave Carlson.
I really want to. I want to go and watch him in court because I said this to him.
It's hard to even imagine him being a judge.
I actually said this to Carlson. We were out to lunch one day, and I said, he's such a nice guy, and he's got a great sense of humor. He's a huge sense of humor. And I go, I just don't picture you criminal court. I just don't picture you doing that. And he goes, no, I do it.
Yeah.
He said, come and watch.
I ran into him at the grocery store one time.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, we don't have anything for the kids' lunches for tomorrow, so I'm being the bad dad and I'm buying them Lunchables, And I mean, he's just regular guy to us.
Is. Oh yeah, he is. He's just, and I think he's probably, all the ones we know, but I think he's probably a really good judge because he has a lot of empathy for human beings, period. Good or bad. I mean, he's an empathetic person. But anyway, but Kavanaugh, I mean, he's got the stuff. He tutors at Washington Jesuit Academy. The problem with him falls back on the fact that he was W's appointee. And there are people in this party that doesn't sit well. And, I've always liked W. I always have. I didn't agree with everything, but I know somebody, I've mentioned this before, I know somebody who actually knew him personally back in the baseball days. Mm-hmm. And this guy, John, was one of the co-founders of Enron. And John said, I didn't like the way he was prosecuting the war. John was a U.S. Military Academy graduate, so I didn't like the way he was prosecuting the war. He said, but I'll tell you, with George W. Bush, what you see is what you get. Mm-hmm. I mean, he tells you what he's going to do, and then he's going to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he said anybody that thinks that he is controlled by Dick Cheney or anybody else clearly does not know the man at all. He's very strong-willed.
He was his own man.
Yeah, he just doesn't always come across that way, but he runs his own show. So, I don't know. It's kind of a shame because Kavanaugh he's got good credentials. I just don't think. I think it would be more problematic. We have a couple people on the Republican side that are questionable. They could defect.
Right.
And I think if
they're not strong conservative votes.
Exactly. And I'm afraid if you present them with somebody that they're not in favor of, they may haul.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Guy Benson wrote an article for Town Hall, basically saying that, if there are some not people in Congress, but people outside of Congress are saying that all 49 Democrats need to stick together because then they can pressure a couple of Republicans to defect.
Well, when we come back, we got to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about Amy Coney Barrett, the Coninator. All that and more with more on Target Radio. And you're listening to AM 560, The Answer.
How can you get from here to there? We've got the answer from the Balance of Nature Traffic Center.
I'm Eddie Manzano in the Balance of Nature Traffic Center on the outbound Ike near Wooddale. A rollover accident blocking the road. Not moving from Route 83. Traffic is being forced out to the northbound Route 83 ramp. No times to report to Thorndale from the post office to Mannheim at 16 minutes. On the inbound side, flowing freely from Thorndale to the post office at 29 minutes. On the inbound Kennedy, sluggish from Central to the Junction. O'Hare to downtown at 36 from the Junction 12. Outbound to O'Hare from downtown at 22. Express lanes at 8 on the inbound Dan Ryan. Stop and go from the Stevenson to the Circle, 95th to downtown at 25. On the outbound at 15 minutes. Flowing freely from the Circle to the Skyway. It is currently fair skies, 82 degrees. Tonight, a low of 68. Tomorrow, Monday, a high of 92. Sunny skies and a low of 72 with a chance of thunderstorms. Next update in 15 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
My overrating's bad.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson.
I didn't know, too, that we could tip Uber drivers.
Didn't know.
This is new to me.
Every time you complete a ride, it pops up with a rating, and then if you want to add a tip. 2.5 Uber rating for Amy Jacobson, 4.88.
What?
Thank you for Dan Proft.
You just not even say anything to them when you get in the car?
Correct. That's the secret to getting a high Uber rating.
Chicago's Morning Answer. Weekday mornings starting at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
Do you like your gun range bag? There's a really cool local company here in Chicagoland that makes the finest range bags anywhere. And these quality range bags are so inexpensive that I bet you won't hesitate to buy one. The Hackett range bags from Hackett Equipment have it all. There are compartmentalized pouches that hold 2 or 4 pistols, ammo, mags, and even targets. Basically everything you need for a day at the range in a stealth design that doesn't resemble a range bag. Nobody will know you're carrying firearms. Additionally, they're super heavy duty and will last a lifetime because Hackett bags are 30% heavier than typical range bags. And the price is unreal. The large pack is under $100 and the small one under $80. But if you visit gunrangebags.com and use the promo code AM560, you'll save an additional 10%. Hackett Equipment bags really are range bags that can hack it. That's gunrangebags.com, promo code AM560. Gunrangebags.com. Do it now.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I was diagnosed with congestive heart failure. I went from being able to work 14, 16 hours a day with no problem to where I could barely walk a block to the store. I went on to the phytonutrients about 6 months ago, and within a couple of months, my medical doctor had cut my prescriptions down in a little bit smaller dosage. The next time I went back a month later, I walked into the doctor's office and he says, "My gosh, what's happened to you? You don't even look like the same person." He looked at my legs and the swelling had gone down. My blood pressure was down. The venous stasis ulcers that I had had on my legs for the last 4 or 5 years because of the poor circulation were all healed, and I'm feeling far better.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
We now return to On Target Radio on AM 560, The Answer. If you have a question or an opinion, share it with us at 312-642-5600. And now, debating, debunking, and discussing today's hot issues. Here are your hosts, David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz.
Amy Coney Barrett. I'm going to tell you, I'm really enamored with this woman. She's got all the creds for being a conservative. She really does. And she's Chicagoan. She's here in Chicago. She's in the 7th Circuit. You'd appreciate this. Maybe not so much the Catholic faith part, but the part that she talks about her faith and her belief in God. If you take a list of things that true conservatives believe and go down that list and check them off,
right,
each one of them, she's got every single one of them.
Well, actually, she's in one of the critiques in this article is that she's involved with a group called People of Praise, which I had never heard of, but apparently it's a group, it's a parachurch group that is Protestants and Catholics together.
Ah, okay.
So,
I read that, but I didn't read what it was.
Yeah, so the last page of the article that you gave me, that's basically all it talks about is this People of Praise group and what the criticism is of it. They sound a little nutty, but, I mean...
Liberals really don't like that.
No, they don't. And they're going to find anything that they can pick apart. I mean, it's basically like terminology that they're using within this group. They're picking it apart, like saying they have a problem with it. So come on. Yeah. It's just terminology.
I did a little background checking because she's Catholic. I thought, well, I wonder how many Catholics there have ever been. Well, it turns out maybe we should ask how many others have there been. Right now, SCOTUS, at this moment, has 5 Catholics, 3 Jewish, and Gorsuch, who was raised a Catholic, but is now Catholic Light, is an Episcopalian. I found that very interesting.
That is interesting.
I remember when JFK was running for office.
Being Catholic was a big deal.
I remember them. There was a congressional committee, and I remember them asking this. They said, "Do you not swear allegiance to the Pope?" Okay. Well, then what about to this country? Like somehow, well, of course they were trying to sink them is what they were trying to do. And that was Republicans.
Well, I mean, it's the same with everything. The first person to do anything, they're going to give them crap.
They're going to get skewered.
That's just how we do things in this country.
Rush Limbaugh. Everything you need to know about Amy Coney Barrett, I will tell you very short and quick. First of all, Rush Limbaugh once made the comment that you can always tell when liberals are afraid of someone because they just go like wild on attacks. They just go on personal attacks, and they've been just after her.
They lose their minds, yeah.
Absolutely. So listen to this. First of all, she's a mother of 7 children. Well, that's wrong.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah,
wow.
She's 7 children and works. No, that can't be. That's something wrong with that.
Yes, that's not
She's
right.
against, you ready for this? You got a seatbelt? Against abortion, homosexuality, transgenderism, the National Association for the Repeal of Abortion Laws, NARL, fears her. Planned Parenthood fears her. Seasoned Democrat politicians have attacked her Catholicism. Feinstein said, the dogma lives loudly within you. Durbin, who, by the way, Durbin is a Catholic, or at least so he claims.
Yeah.
Durbin attempted to impose a religious litmus test that would eliminate her for being Catholic. I wonder what the Pope says about that. Schumer said, there's a quote, if chosen, she'll be the deciding vote to overturn Roe v. Wade. We'll talk about that in a bit. New York Times published a hit piece about her religion. MSNBC mocked her for her religion and called it a weakness. The Washington Post just said she's a danger. They also said she has a flexible understanding of stare decisis when it comes to Roe v. Wade. CNN's Chris Cillizza, listen to this, chosen as nominee because of her appearance. This is right. CNN, okay? Slate.com, the People of Praise she belongs to what looks like a cult. Okay, now, here's the interesting thing about all that. First of all, she's not an Ivy Leaguer, right? She went to Notre Dame. So that's one reason. All of those problems are another reason why you want to vote for, why you'd want to get voted in. But here's the interesting thing about Roe v. Wade. If you dig around, what you will find is that she has actually gone on record saying, I don't think Roe v. Wade it'll never be rescinded. She believes in stare decisis.
Back in 2013, so only 5 years ago, she was giving a speech at Notre Dame, and she said, I think it is very unlikely at this point that the court is going to overturn Roe. The fundamental element that the woman has a right to choose abortion will probably stand. The controversy right now is about funding.
Exactly. And, we don't like abortion, but I think that's a probably pragmatic view of what will happen.
Well, and, I don't see how that goes against stare decisis at all.
It doesn't, because it's not overturning it.
Right.
That's right.
I mean, she's basically saying, yeah, it's probably not going to be overturned. And, I don't like it, but I would say the same thing. I don't think it's going away.
It isn't going to go away. And it's typically the Republicans that honor stare decisis. If you don't know what stare decisis is, it's not a law. It's a principle of law. And basically what it says is, in the case of the Supreme Court, what it says is no sitting Supreme Court will go back and reverse a previous Supreme Court decision. They just honor it because it's a slippery slope. Literally, if you do that, if you just say, the heck with it, we're going to change it, then all bets are off.
Well, right, exactly. For one thing, they have thousands of cases that are applied for every year that people want to have their case heard before the Supreme Court, and they just pick a few. They can barely do like a small percentage of the cases that people want to present to them. So that's the first problem. The second problem is that it would take away the concept of precedent. Nobody would ever know what was going to happen. I mean, it would take away all lawyers' predictive ability of, they base things on precedent and they go, okay, well, this is what they said before, so this is probably what they'll say in the future. Well, now all that's out the window.
Well, yeah. I mean, how can you run a society where every time the balance of the Supreme Court changes, the rules change?
Right. Or every time they meet, you don't know what's going to happen.
Exactly. You need continuity. The problem that, and this is really I had to chuckle about this. And by the way, give us a call, 312-642-5600, 312-642-5600 if you want to weigh in on any of this. But the interesting thing is, I was reading a quote that said, we've got we got control of the House, we got control of the Senate, we got presidency, we got all this, we got all that. There's no compromise, there's no nothing. And it was the Democrats that were saying that. But they weren't saying a lot of that when they were in charge. This is this duplicitous liberal tendency. And I wouldn't say that no Republicans have ever done that, but it's like a hallmark of liberalism. They just ignore facts.
Well, I was going to say, the fact of the matter is that it doesn't matter what you're talking about. It doesn't matter what arena, whether you're talking about SCOTUS or guns, or it doesn't matter what you're talking about. They base everything on emotions.
Exactly.
Everything hinges on how it makes me feel, and that's crap.
Yeah, and we had hoped, for instance, in the case of Freedman Highland Park, after I did the video and showed every one of those parts has nothing to do with the gun, the appellate court even said that. Well, okay, we get it. All that stuff on that list really doesn't affect the lethality of the firearm. But if it makes the people of the village of Highland Park feel better, then it's justifiable. So you can just wipe out one of the amendments to the Constitution because it makes people feel better. That's not even a slippery slope. That's like an ice flow.
Yeah, I was going to say that's like a toboggan straight.
It is. It's what do they call those things that do 100 miles an hour? A luge. It's like a luge. So I don't know. I think she will be a superb Supreme Court justice. The only thing that my suggestion has been is that they should hold her back, because I think and I don't wish ill on anybody, but how can Ruth Bader Ginsburg make it through 3.5 more years?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, how old is she now?
She's like 85, I think.
And she looks like 106.
Oh, I know.
I don't know. And
she looks like she's already dead.
And she is losing it. I mean, she's saying and doing stuff that really...
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think you'll get a third one, which will just drive the Democrats insane.
Oh, my gosh. If they're losing their minds now. I mean, you should have seen... Well, I know you did, but the audience should have seen Facebook right after Kennedy announced his retirement. I mean,
I'll bet.
They were like, oh, kiss all your rights goodbye and blah, blah,
blah. What do we got left? Well, we got somebody on the phone, but we only have
30 seconds.
We got 30 seconds. So when we come back, we'll get to Mike calling from Crown Point.
Oh, okay.
That's furthest call we've had tonight.
When
we come back, we're going to also talk about my buddy Kethledge and his Supreme Court. Yeah, no, I like this guy. And we'll also get Mike on the phone, too. All that when we return with more on Target Radio. And you're listening to AM 560.
The Answer.
world is a dangerous place. Often, it's a very ugly place, and you come here to try to help make sense of it all. We give you the latest news, help you understand what it means and why it's important. But there are bigger questions you need answered about life and death, faith and hope. And that's where our sister station, AM 1160, Hope for Your Life, comes in. When you're looking for answers to life's biggest questions, give them a listen at AM 1160 or online at 1160hope.com.
Fox News Radio, I'm Paul Stevens. 4 youth soccer players rescued so far from that flooded cave in Thailand, but it's raining again.
It has been pouring on and off for the last several hours here in Mae Sai, Thailand, which is a big concern as those 8 remaining soccer players and their coach remain trapped in that cave. Forecasters here from local Thai TV saying that it'll likely rain for the next 2 to 3 days.
Fox's Jeff Paul in northern Thailand. President Trump ready to announce his Supreme Court nominee tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Probably be decided tonight or tomorrow sometime by 12 o'clock, and I think we're going to all be meeting at 9 o'clock. And we have a great country, folks.
The president, speaking to reporters as he and the First Lady headed back to D.C. from New Jersey, and a helicopter crash leaves at least one person dead in Williamsburg, Virginia. Fox News. We report, you decide.
Stuck in traffic? We've got the answer from the Balance of Nature Traffic Center.
Eddie Manzano in the Balance of Nature Traffic Center on the outbound Ike near Wooddale. A rollover crash is blocking the road. Not moving from Route 83. All traffic is being forced off to the northbound Route 83 ramp. No times to deliver to Thorndale at the moment. To Manheim from the post office at 16 minutes. Inbound side, Thorndale to the post office at 29. Inbound Kennedy, sluggish from the junction to Irving Park. O'Hare to downtown at 24. On the outbound 22. Outbound express lanes at 8 minutes. Stevenson inbound outbound 55 to Lakeshore Drive at 34 from the Tri-State at 24. Inbound Dan Ryan, sluggish from Pershing into the Circle. 95th to downtown at 20 on the outbound at 15. And Lakeshore southbound and northbound Hollywood Monroe at 15 minutes. Currently 82 degrees, a low of 68 tonight. Tomorrow Monday, high of 92 and a low of 72. Next update in 15 minutes on AM 560 The Answer.
Hard drives fail. Viruses destroy data. Having a copy of your work, photographs, financial records, and other important files is one step in a thorough backup plan. Geekometrics offers a secure online solution by placing a copy of your data off-site where it's safe from theft, fire, and unauthorized access. Losing photos and financial information is devastating. Geekometrics' secure online backup solution is a reliable way to back up important files. The most common reasons for not backing up are uncertainty about what needs to be backed up and how to do it reliably. Geekometrics provides a full-service managed solution with no storage limit. Geekometrics does all of the setup, configuring, testing, and monitoring. Your data is even safe when you travel with your Mac or PC laptop. Call 630-759-9283 to talk to a specialist who can help you keep your data safe. 630-759-9283. Geekometrics, helping you keep your data safe.
Safer USA, Chicago's most trusted name in firearm training, is offering beginners classes, tactical pistol and rifle, long-range rifle to 600 yards, and the most comprehensive Illinois concealed carry program available. AM 560 On Target Radio co-hosts David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz will prepare you to carry a firearm for personal protection, including firearm, holster, and ammunition selection. A comprehensive law review designed to keep you out of trouble and even how to deal with home invasions. Firearm, ammunition, holster, class notebook are provided. Safer USA and the Aurora Sportsman's Club invite you to participate in this one-of-a-kind Illinois concealed carry program that also qualifies you for Florida, Utah, and Arizona non-resident permits. Find out what over 6,000 students already know at saferusa.com.
Or call 815-741-3474. That's 815-741-3474. Safer USA. Choosing to own a firearm is your business. Teaching you to own it responsibly is ours.
Hey, honey, what's going on?
I was just logging in and checking on our account, and I thought we were going to do better this year.
I know. I've been trying to watch what I spend. No more stopping for coffee for me.
I don't think giving up coffee is going to do it. We need more income for our day-to-day, not to mention setting aside something for the kids' college and our retirement.
Man, I wish there was an answer.
For most of us, no one ever taught us how to invest, yet it's a skill that we all need. If you're looking to generate extra income, Online Trading Academy, the leader in financial education, can help. Attend one of Online Trading Academy's free introductory classes, and they'll show you how to create monthly, weekly, or even daily income using their patented supply and demand strategy. Plus, this month, they'll send you home with their free investor kit, loaded with guides to smarter investing and lessons from the pros just for attending. Register now by calling 888-984-TRADE, 888-984-8723, or OTAChicago.com, 888-984-TRADE, or OTAChicago.com.
You're listening to On Target Radio on AM 560, The Answer, with David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz. Here's David and Gretchen with more interesting conversation on gun control, concealed carry, freedom of speech, and other red meat issues that affect your life.
And we're back with more On Target Radio. And Mike bailed out on us. You said he was on a cell phone? Yeah. It's on a cell phone in his Ferrari doing 150 miles an hour on Lakeshore Drive.
He probably is like paying for minutes or something.
That could be. You never know.
He doesn't have an unlimited plan.
I don't know. Well, Mike, we'll miss you. It could have been a beautiful thing, and it didn't work out. Real quick, I just want to talk a little bit about Raymond Kethledge, and I want to get to what I think is the greatest news story of the week. It's not a big one, but it's, I think, a big one. But Kethledge really is... he's the real deal. He's in the Sixth Circuit Court, which he's in Michigan, and everything he's done so far has been very consistent. He's a strict constitutionalist. He is a very strong supporter of individual rights. He told the Labor Department, in fact, it was a quote. He says, "The Labor Department tend to what is Caesar's and leave the rest alone," unquote. So it's spouting a little there, but he has a very, very strong Second Amendment record. He has gone and has been quoted saying the right to bear arms is fundamental. He was the dissent in the Fifth Amendment case, the takings case, he said that the court lost its constitutional bearings on property rights. He's not a Harvard or a Yale guy. He's a University of Michigan Law School, been married 25 years. He is an evangelical Christian, and which will really stand out in that group, Catholics and Jews.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting. But the interesting thing is he's an avid hunter and he's an avid fisherman, and this is my favorite part. I told you this in the car coming here, and I think this is really cool about him. He has an old barn that he uses as an office, and he writes his decisions and stuff like that in this old barn, and it overlooks Lake Huron. There's no internet, no cell phone reception, and he uses a wooden stove for heat, and that's what he does. He's like, he's a man of the earth. There's nothing to not like about this guy. He's 51 years old. He's perfect. I would hope that the president appoints him and holds Amy back for Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
My only thing about Amy, what's her name, Barrett? She hasn't been an appellate judge for very long.
That's true.
And
it is true.
So, maybe a little more experience, and
Yeah.
I mean, I think that the fact you say she has 7 kids, and it makes me think of Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Who, she says that being a mom prepared her for that job.
Well, probably
answering repetitive, stupid questions all day.
Yeah.
And being able to tell people no.
That's probably true. We get, how much news feed do we get every week?
Oh my gosh, so much.
I get hundreds and hundreds of news feeds.
I was hoping we would do our new segment this week because there were so many little tidbitty type
still
stories.
Arguing about what we're going to call it.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But,
instead of you guys picking one of the 3 that I put out there, not that I didn't invent them all. I just wrote them down. Instead of picking from those, you added more.
Yeah.
It was the opposite of what I was hoping would happen.
I like 6 minutes of your life you'll never get back.
See, I don't want to warn people. I don't want people to know that in advance.
I think they'll... everybody raise your hand. People like the title 6 minutes of your life. Of course, they have no idea what we're talking about.
That's okay.
It'd be hard to judge.
That's okay.
But we got to cover this in this segment. We've got to cover this. If you haven't seen it, this video is on the internet. There's 2 young people, they're teens. I forget how old he is, 16. Mm-hmm. And they're in a Whataburger, okay, which, you may question that. But anyway, they're in a Whataburger, they're minding their own business, talking. And the one kid's wearing a MAGA hat, Make America Great Again hat. Yep. And this guy, who's older, not a lot older, he's in his 30s or something, walks up to him, doesn't know any of them, walks up to him, picks up the Coke that the kid's been drinking, throws it in the kid's face, takes the MAGA hat off his head, makes an obscene remark, and walks out. And he's walking out the door. He says, this is going in my burn pit.
Effing fireplace.
Yeah, right. To the credit, the two kids, well, they're probably afraid of dying, but, they just, okay, fine, they let it roll.
Right.
Now, somebody is shooting video of this. The kid.
Well, it's probably surveillance. Right. Surveillance.
Oh, that probably is what it is. And it clearly shows this guy's face. Oh, well, that did not go well for him.
He got arrested.
First of all, he lost his job.
Yes.
He
only had a part-time job, but yeah, he lost his job. He lost his job,
which was at
a bar.
And they literally said, the bar came out publicly and said, this is not representative of how
So
we
this
feel.
is funny. I don't know why they did this, but so they had the bar had a Facebook page, and they put, this bar is a safe space for everyone, no matter your race, creed, ethnicity, sexual identity, political stance, you are welcome here. And then they deleted their Facebook page.
Well,
I don't know why.
There was that.
I don't know why you need to delete your Facebook page, but okay.
Well, I expect they were probably getting blowback. That's what happened.
I guess it's possible.
And they were hypercritical. They were worried about it, and I think rightfully so. But not only did he lose his job, but he got arrested for this.
He got charged with a felony.
It's a felony. It's against a person. It's violence against a person. So George just giving us a little hint there.
That was a surprise.
It's time to go away. That's fine, George.
We'll
Thanks.
finish it when we come back. It's okay.
We appreciate that. When we come back with a little less music volume, we're going to talk about counties in Illinois. All that and more on Target Radio. And you're listening to AM 560.
The Answer.
How can you get from here to there? We've got the answer from the Balance of Nature Traffic Center.
Hi, I'm VG Lozano in the Balance of Nature Traffic Center. Heading inbound on the Bishop Ford, traffic is slowing down between 103rd and the Dan Ryan Expressway. Heading for a 20-minute trip out to 95th. Inbound Dan Ryan is heavy from the Stevenson Expressway to the Byrne Interchange. On the inbound Dan Ryan Express lane, stop and go between 35th and the Stevenson. Heading outbound on the Eisenhower, all lanes are completely shut down between Route 83 and Lake Street with a serious injury crash there involving a rollover. Traffic is stretching as far back as York Road. All traffic is being forced off to the northbound Route 83 ramp. Inbound Kennedy slowing down between Lawrence Avenue and Montrose. Further down, it slows between Montrose and Irving Park. Northbound Lakeshore Drive slows from Roosevelt Road to Jackson. Your current Chicago forecast is a clear low around 68 for your Monday morning, a sunny high around 92. Monday night, partly cloudy with a low around 72. Your next update in 15 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Do you like your gun range bag? There's a really cool local company here in Chicagoland that makes the finest range bags anywhere. And these quality range bags are so inexpensive that I bet you won't hesitate to buy one. The Hackett range bags from Hackett Equipment have it all. There are compartmentalized pouches that hold 2 or 4 pistols, ammo, mags, and even targets. Basically everything you need for a day at the range in a stealth design that doesn't resemble a range bag. Nobody will know you're carrying firearms. Additionally, they're super heavy duty and will last a lifetime because Hackett bags are 30% heavier than typical range bags. And the price is unreal. The large pack is under $100 and the small one under $80. But if you visit gunrangebags.com and use the promo code AM560, you'll save an additional 10%. Hackett Equipment bags really are range bags that can hack it. That's gunrangebags.com, promo code AM560. Gunrangebags.com. Do it now.
Deb, I'm so done with today. Traffic was awful. I couldn't stop for coffee. I have conference calls all morning, plus all these reports to go through. And look, it's 75 and sunny, and I'm stuck in here.
Relax, it's gonna be an awesome day. Corporate is throwing a picnic in the parking lot for lunch, and they ordered tasty catering.
What? Did I miss the memo?
Apparently. It's gonna be great. They got burgers, grilled chicken, sides, the works. You know, Tasty Catering's picnic food is excellent.
Oh yeah, I know. We had them for our holiday party.
Today they're bringing out the Make Your Own Burger Creation Station. They have everything you can think of, like sriracha, blue cheese crumbles, bacon, sautéed mushrooms, and caramelized onions. And they serve it straight off the grill, the way a great burger should be.
Okay, maybe there's still hope for today. I just hope I don't spill mustard on this new tie. Good thing I've got my bib.
You have a bib?
You don't?
Tasty Catering's picnic menu has all the delicious summertime food favorites you crave and more. Go to tastycatering.com to peruse mouth-watering picnic menus and start planning your picnic today. tastycatering.com.
We now return to On Target Radio on AM 560, The Answer. If you have a question or an opinion, share it with us at 312-642-5600. And now, debating, debunking, and discussing today's hot issues. Here are your hosts, David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz.
26. The magic number is 26 Illinois counties. There are 102. 26 of them have passed gun sanctuary resolutions. What's the status on Will County these days?
It's in the hopper.
It's in the hopper.
It's in process.
Hasn't it been in process for a while? I'm not going to be critical.
Yes, it has.
Yeah.
We're not that fat.
No, we're not that fast. Well, some members of the board would like to. They're quick. They're way ahead of most people.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, we all know who spearheaded it, which, his initials are SB.
Yeah.
And
also has been pushing hard for you should be able to carry in the meeting.
Right. Yeah.
Which
absolutely.
I don't disagree with that.
I don't either.
And the judges, we've talked to a number of them. I mean, and I've said this. That's a long. If you're, I was going to say criminal, but that actually even civil, because divorces and stuff. Sure,
oh my gosh,
that's everything. A long walk from the parking lot to inside that courthouse for somebody who's put somebody in a slammer or taken away your life savings or whatever. And you would think it's like with deputies in the Sally Port. There's a place to put your gun, so you can drive in, lock the door. Now you get out in a secure area, you take your gun, lock it up, and then you can go in. I mean, they should be able to accomplish something. And there's people right now, there's people at this very moment who are going, that's making, why should they be carved out as special? I don't.
Because they're targets.
Well, but I don't, see, I don't look at it from that perspective. I look at it from the perspective of the camel getting his nose under the tent. If the judges can do it, and if the county boards can do it, at some point the people in the county building will go, wait just 1 second. If they can go up there, why can't we go up there? And that's a question that doesn't have a good answer.
Right.
I mean, so anytime you can take a step in that direction, I'm all for it. I don't view it as, you're getting special privileges. 26 counties out of 102 in the state of Illinois have gun sanctuary resolutions. Now, I'm going to read them off just so that, I think there's some value in knowing. Brown, Christian, Clark, Clay, Cumberland, Douglas, Effingham, Fayette, Ford, Greene, Hamilton, Hardin, Henry, Iroquois, Jasper, Jefferson, Lawrence, Monee, Perry. Monroe, I'm sorry. Perry, Pope, Saline, Shelby, Washington, Wayne, White, and Woodford. Wayne, Woodford, that's hard to say. And there are more in the works. There are more, like Will County's in the works.
Yes.
Now, the truth of the matter is this. There really isn't a lot of standing for this. I mean, this is much more of a gesture than a reality.
Right. So this article from the Belleville News-Democrat, it basically says there's three different approaches here, basically. Some of them are send a message to Springfield, which is, the people on the board of this county have voted for this resolution to send a message to Springfield of, we don't like what you're doing.
Exactly.
The other one is, we won't enforce your laws, which is nullification, essentially, which I'm a little disappointed that Kelsey Landis didn't ever mention nullification. But basically, nullification is we won't help you enforce laws that we think are bogus.
Right.
Basically, you've overstepped your authority. The state, the county is saying the state has overstepped its authority in passing this law, and we're not going to help you enforce it.
And that's the key part of that sentence. We're not going to help you enforce it, because if the state police or the FBI or federal government in any form comes into your county and you have this, doesn't matter. If the
right, exactly, they can enforce their law,
yeah,
but they're not. The county is not going to expend resources to help enforce it. The other thing that they don't mention here is, in one of the counties, I think it was the first one, I think it was Iroquois, or maybe Effingham. I think it was Effingham. It was actually their state's attorney who, it was one of the board members and the state's attorney who cooked this up together.
It was Effingham.
And if you've got the state's attorney on board, it's like, okay, well, the deputies, the sheriff's department can arrest people all day long.
Doesn't matter.
But if the state's attorney declines to prosecute them, you may as well save your effort.
That's it.
You're just wasting paper at that point.
I think, and I'm not being negative about this because I'm all for it. I think it's a great idea. I'm just, the reality of it is, it's not something you're going to hang your hat on from a legality perspective.
No, definitely not.
But what is very interesting about it is more and more of them say, because I remember when Effingham first did it and people were going, yeah, right.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, the number just keeps growing and growing. And it clearly sends a message to Springfield. I mean, when a county board says, you know what, our county isn't, we don't like that.
We're not on board.
Yeah. Now, I don't see Cook on here anywhere.
You're funny.
I would have thought Preckwinkle will be out ahead of this.
So there's two counties, Madison and Williamson, are putting it on the November 6th ballot. So they're basically doing a referendum to ask the voters,
which is very
do
cool.
you want us to be a sanctuary county? So it's a third approach of how to do it. And it says if voters approve the Madison County resolution, it will not be legally binding, but it would send a message to the General Assembly saying the residents, the people themselves, don't want their gun rights messed with. And that was from Tom McCrae, who is one of the board members there. So, and I agree. I mean, I think that having a referendum, that would send a very strong message because, 10th Amendment, the rights that are not delegated to the, enumerated specifically for the federal government or the states are reserved to the people.
One quick thing before we go to break again. Here's the newest challenge for Second Amendment people. They can't get the laws passed. They can't do this. They can't do that. So what's happening? The banks, there are banks now who are refusing service. We do have to take a break, last break. So we're going to talk about this real quick when we come back. After we do your action items, because this is worth people understanding. So we'll be back and talk a little bit about the banks and Gretchen's action items after these few messages. And you're listening to On Target Radio, and this is AM 560. The Answer. Hard drives fail. Viruses destroy data. Having a copy of your work, photographs, financial records, and other important files is one step in a thorough backup plan. Geekometrics offers a secure online solution by placing a copy of your data off-site where it's safe from theft, fire, and unauthorized access. Losing photos and financial information is devastating. Geekometrics' secure online backup solution is a reliable way to back up important files. The most common reasons for not backing up are uncertainty about what needs to be backed up and how to do it reliably. Geekometrics provides a full-service managed solution with no storage limit. Geekometrics does all of the setup, configuring, testing, and monitoring. Your data is even safe when you travel with your Mac or PC laptop. Call 630-759-9283 to talk to a specialist who can help you keep your data safe. 630-759-9283. Geekometrics, helping you keep your data safe.
I've been suffering from depression for about 45 years. I've probably been on 5 to 6 different antidepressants, and even when they did work, there was that underlying feeling of depression, and it would never go away. Just call one of the treatment centers and just talk to the psychiatrist or doctor, and you'll be on your way. I'm Christy. I'm a wife and a mother and a real estate broker, and I no longer suffer from depression.
HPR centers in Chicagoland and Milwaukee offer TMS therapy. In just a few weeks, you can change your life, and it's FDA cleared. It's covered by most insurance, including Blue Cross, Blue Shield, and Medicare. You can make real progress in the battle with depression, cure or remission. Get a free consultation. 800-604-0208. 800-604-0208. HPR centers. Go to endmydepression.com. End your depression.
You're listening to On Target Radio on AM 560, The Answer, with David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz. Here's David and Gretchen with more interesting conversation on gun control, concealed carry, freedom of speech, and other red meat issues that affect your life. Stand by. Here's Gretchen with your action items for the week.
Join On Target Radio for the Freedom Ride, Saturday, July 28th at 9:30 a.m., starting at Cimino's Pizza in Joliet and finishing at Will County Firearms Training Center in Monee for lunch and shooting. $20 per rider, $5 per passenger. $20 per person for the after party. Advance reservations required. Sign up in advance on eventbrite.com. Shooting activities will have separate fees. I put the link on Facebook earlier today. Save the date for the 33rd Annual Gun Rights Policy Conference, September 21st to 23rd at the Hyatt Regency Chicago O'Hare Airport in Rosemont. Hear and meet luminaries of the 2A community. The conference is sponsored by the Citizens Committee for the Right to Keep and Bear Arms and the Second Amendment Foundation, who make it free to attend. Attendees also receive a plethora of books and other informational materials. Register now by emailing grpc2018@saf.org. The following Safer USA classes are at our facility in Waterman. Saturday, July 21st, Introduction to Tactical Pistol, taught by David. Saturday, August 4th, Long Range Rifle, taught by Ed Janka. Saturday and Sunday, August 4th and 5th, Illinois Concealed Carry 1. This 16-hour class will be taught by David and Gretchen and meets the training requirements for Illinois Concealed Carry, as well as Florida and Arizona. To sign up for classes, go to saferusa.com and click on register.
You know, you were going to forward me the contact for that policy rights conference. I never got it.
The contact?
But yeah, I don't know. I want to sign up. I was going to go, but I never...
It's in the Illinois Shooter. I got it out of the Shooter.
Oh, okay.
Look in thy Shooter.
Oh, I will. I immediately go to the Shooter and I read my articles.
Yeah, and then you just ignore the rest of it.
Well, that's...
Well, they have a full-page ad, so you can hardly miss it.
Okay. You wanted a real quick touch on that.
Oh, yeah. So I want to go back to the kid who had his Make America Great Again hat stolen. And the best part of this whole story is the end, which is Donald Trump Jr. found out about this, and he offered to get the teenager a new hat signed by the president himself.
Which I thought that was nice.
That is very nice.
That was nice.
I like it.
And I wanted to finish up on the bank thing. So Citibank and Bank of America, they're accepting no new retail sector clients that refuse to acquiesce to a novel, quote, novel set of rules. To qualify for financing, now you have to first decline to sell firearms to 18 to 20-year-olds, stop offering so-called high-capacity magazines, and opt out of the due process protection contained within the Brady Bill. Otherwise, that's it. You get no money. You can't get inventory. You can't expand. You can't do anything. Liberalism at its finest. Now, those two banks are very, very well known, and my recommendation is the 400 million firearms that are owned by law-abiding citizens probably ought to take their banking business to a different place. That's just my opinion. But, when you hit them in the pocketbook, businesses, suddenly they have a, come to Jesus moment about how they're doing business.
And I also think a strongly worded email can't hurt either.
I would agree.
Because they need to know why you're boycotting them.
That's true. Although if they're not getting an income, there's probably going to be a message hidden in there somewhere that they'll pick up.
But I think the two go hand in hand. You have to let them know, what it is and what you want.
I guess so. Next week is going to be, you're going to be gone.
I am. I'm going to be on a business trip.
We're going to do boys' night next week. We're going to talk about motorcycles, cigars, alcohol, shooting,
You said broads earlier.
I didn't want to say that. We'd like to thank you for taking time to listen on Target Radio.
We'd also like to thank George Hoffman on the board, Eric Allen, our video producer. Learn about how you can be a sponsor partner for a lot less than you think. Call 815-741-3474 for details.
And please go to Facebook and like us. That's how we know that you're listening.
Hey, we know replacing your roof is a big deal and a big decision. This is Mark Olson.
And Greg Olson, the boys from Crumweedy. If your roof is needy,
call Crumweedy. We would love to do your roof. Why choose Crumweedy to do your roof or roof repairs?
It's all about installation. Our guys are pros. When we install your roof, you'll get the Crumweedy promise of installation that's up to manufacturer specifications. So your warranty is intact. You'll be happy.
Cost. We give you a good, better, best option. You choose. No high pressure.
We're here. We're a third-generation family business that was built on the same conservative values as you.
We do business the right way. We have a special offer that includes free gutters with a new roof. Ask about it. When your roof is needy,
call Crumweedy. 630-595-80